So this is Who You Say I Am, 16th note subdivisions. 16th notes at this tempo are pretty fast, so practice these things separately on a daily basis. For 6/8, when you strum 16th notes, the way I like to teach it is to strum 3 strings on beats 1 and 4. So you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the bottom 3 strings on 1 and 4, and then just the 3rd string, or kind of aim for that on the other subdivisions of the beat. So again, that's down with 3 strings, up, down, up, down, up. And that's one 3-beat section. So 1 and 2 and 3, and the ands are all upstrokes. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 8. So the ands are all up. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and the numbers are downstrokes. So real slowly, try that. It looks like this: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See how softly you can play that, and just work on that as a technical exercise. 5 minutes a day or whatever. Then try it with the meter all together, like we talked about in the last video. Strum all strings on beat 1. So with the song, it sounds like this at the chorus. Who the sun sets free, oh, is free and deep. I'm a child of God, yes I am. Of course, it's faster than that. It sounds like this. Who the sun sets free, I'm a child of God, yes I am. Alright, so keep it real light. Eventually you don't strum every subdivision of the beat, but it's good practice to just practice that light, loud, soft pattern. And then just kind of play it by ear. Try to get a feel for it. So kind of alternate the technical and then just feeling it. See if you can just get the feeling for that with 16th notes. Now, modern 6/8 syncopates the same thing. And the way we do that is we strum a different pattern that alternates the accents on a down and up. It looks like this. Makes the 6/8 come to life. So how we're doing that is we strum ta-ki-ta. That's our 3 again that we did in the other lesson with 8th notes. We did them all downstrokes. In this one we're going to alternate down up. So it's down up down. Then the next ta, we're going to strum those bottom 2 or 3 strings with an upstroke. And really it's mostly the bottom string, but it looks like this: ta-ki-ta, ta. So the way I teach people to do this is to build it, because it's a little more complex with that upstroke. So take your ta-ki-ta, ta-ki-ta, and just build it. Play the part you can play. So you start ta-ki-ta, down, up, down. The up, down is on the third string. Ta-ki-ta. Again, ta-ki-ta. So you're ending with a downstroke. Ta-ki-ta, ta-ki-ta. Then add the upstroke on the next subdivision of the beat. That's your ta. Sounds like this. Ta-ki-ta-ta. The other subdivisions one at a time. Do this slowly. Do it as many times as it takes. It may take you really kind of building it a little bit at a time for a few days until you can kind of do bigger portions of it. Okay? Then the next part would be the next beat. Then you loop it. Eventually you want to be able to do the whole thing. It looks like this. Alright, so up to speed, it's going to look something like this. I'm not precisely hitting the third string every time. So practice the technical aspect where you're specifically strumming certain strings, and then take a break from that in your practice and just practice feeling it. And you're mainly going for the accent pattern at that point. And eventually you just want to be able to feel it. But for a lot of people, the shortcut to getting to the feel is going to be to practice some technique. We're just not used to strumming things that fast and doing loud, soft patterns syncopated that way. So if that helps you, practice that specifically for a little while, then just let go and try to play the song. So here's the chorus. I'll sing a little bit of it. Just the bottom three strings one time. Who the sun sets free, talking, talking. Easier for most people to do that on the bottom three strings because you can really just use your wrist. It's a little more technical to alternate, a bass note strum. When you start moving the whole hand around and the arm around, it's technically a little more difficult. So that's why I break it down into steps. Start with the bottom three. Then when you're good with that, add the full strum on beat one. Sounds like this. Who the sun sets free, oh, it's free and I'm a child of God, yes I am. In my Father's house, there's a place for me. I'm a child. Alright, so that's a good way to just get a feel for 6/8 with 16th notes. The syncopation takes a little while. Be patient with that. It's a lot like riding a bike. It basically won't work until it does. It feels unnatural, unnatural, unnatural. Never works, never works, never works. And then suddenly, one day it just works. If you've ever watched a kid learn to ride a bike, it's not a gradual progression. They don't gradually get better at riding a bike. It's basically instantaneous. Once they can ride 15 feet on a bike, then they can immediately, within a few minutes, ride 40, 50 feet or just more continuously. It's really just getting that first little bit to get them going. And it's the same thing with more complex strum patterns. So be patient with these. These are inherently more difficult, but these will allow you to skip ahead months and years in the sophistication of the way your right hand sounds. Most players that you hear just strumming the guitar don't play it with that level of sophistication. With that, you could play it without the rest of the band and it's going to sound pretty good. So it's just a way of taking your playing to the next level. If you've already got basic strumming down, learn some technique, specific strings, and some nuance, and I think you'll be really pleased with what you hear coming out of the instrument. Anyway, thanks for watching. Check out my other videos. I appreciate it.